What is up, you beautiful people, and welcome back to another Direct Strike Weekly Brawl. Okay, we got a new brawl this week. I mean, well, obviously this is the tier list. Looks like we have Gary and I'm playing some Abathur right now, but we got some Gary and some Dehaka here. We also got some baby lag, which is really funky because it is like 4 AM right now. My internet should technically be fine, but it's not. So that's great. That's just wonderful. We're joined here by Cakes on our team and In Flames on the other team. And holy frame rates, Batman. Oh my goodness, boys. Why? How could this be, boys? My internet do be dumping out on me, huh? Really gotta get this fixed. Really gotta get this fixed. Holy. I hate this, boys. My internet is just so inconsistent, boys. It's just like it just freezes out on you. I don't know why. I don't know why, boys. Maybe it's like at the end of the billing period and I've used up my quote-unquote unlimited internet and they're like, it's throttle time or something stupid like that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, everyone gets a Gary. We're also joined here by In Flames on the other side here. In Flames is playing some Dehaka. So I think I'm gonna get another queen and I'm gonna go tier 2. I think this is the only time we're getting queens. It's not too bad of an idea. I'm gonna try and spread them out a little bit. Maybe actually like in a V-shaped formation like this. And I think what I'm gonna do here is go for maybe I'm gonna go for a bunch of Devours. Actually, what am I against? I'm against a bunch of elite marines. Well, that's no good. Am I against a bunch of elite marines? Oh yeah, so the last brawl modifier is void, so units just have no sight range. So it might actually be good to have frontline and then like have other units sort of just like walk forward. I think I am against Nova though. Yeah, I am against Nova. I mean, Nova's a bunch of elite marines. I don't see anything wrong with buying a bunch of Ravagers here. I'm gonna see if I can actually spread these queens out a little bit more. Boom, boom. And have the Ravagers over here. I guess there's a kind of a bundle of units building up here, but that's okay. I don't know. Should be alright. Let's get that potent bow going. Unless we've got some Legionaries here. Legionaries coming out from here. Okay. Well, I'm against Nova Marines. I don't know why you go Marines. Dude, don't be feeling that strong, I'll be honest. I'm gonna get some more healing. I'm gonna get another mend. Boom. Boom. Do I need some roaches? I think I might need some roaches, boys. I also gotta turn up the volume. Let's see, we got some Dehaka lings coming in here in earnest. I'm gonna gas up right now though. It is a good idea to get a gas for 3 minutes. There we go. How is my internet only giving me 16 kilobytes per second, boys? My internet is only giving me 16 kilobytes per second. My disappointment is immeasurable, boys. I signed up for 25 megabits and above. I really gotta talk to them, boys. I get the feeling though it's because like my internet's going through a bunch of walls. That's the thing though, and it's like I think the only thing I can do about that is just to buy a long ass Ethernet cable. So I think I should do that first. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Got a lot of banshees coming here from Cakes, just going to town here. Yeah, I gotta get some roaches, boys. Roach. Maybe like roach. I'm gonna put him on the flanks actually. It's gonna be a really weird formation. Let's see. Roach. Maybe I'll have Gary up on the flanks so I don't have too many units like bundling up. Because you guys did tell me to stop piling Gary and Dehaka on top of each other. Because I do like to do that. So here we go. It's not happening anymore. I'm gonna have like a somewhat spread out formation. Still gonna be kind of tight in it though, because you know Abathur is Abathur. I'm gonna want the adaptive plating, and then I'll want hydroiodic bile. The roaches will be really good against legionaries as well. So let's go for that. And then Dehaka. I'm gonna go for tier 2 shouting, tier 2 scream. I'm gonna drop a mend here because I just got rocked by Phoenix. Phoenix literally just rocked me. There we go. The roaches should make a great wall against the Marines here. Not as great of a wall as I thought, apparently. Yeah, those Marines are messing me up big time. Well, just gotta get some more Ravagers, boys. I'm gonna stack a charge on this one. I think I have enough Marines here. I mean, not Marines, roaches to counter the Marines. But it looks like it's just early aggro is gonna be the name of the game. Once again. Boom, boom. Oh, close enough. There we go. We'll stack that one over here. Yeah, you just gotta have something out in the field early. By the looks of it, we get the roaches to tunnel down because tunneling down is quite helpful for them to avoid damage. There we go. Get some level that up here. Boom, 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 boom. Drop a mend here. Okay, come on, Ravagers. Ravagers are not doing it, boys. Ravagers are... Actually, no, the Ravagers are almost doing it. They're almost doing it. What is this guy going for? He hasn't built anything else besides Marines. So I'm a little sussed out by that. Let's see. Slam down another Roach here. The Val Roach is here. Should get pretty tanky. We'll put down our Roach, I guess, on top of Dehaka. I'm gonna actually hotkey Dehaka here so that we got something to look at. Cakes is already on gas number 3. I think we'll have to might have to follow suit on that one soon. Let's get some armor upgrades here. Usually the armor upgrade's cheaper, but this time on Abathur the armor upgrade's more expensive. I'm gonna drop a mend here. Boom. I mean, I just can't kill the enemy Dehaka fast enough. I think that's the problem. Yeah, well, you know what I need? I need some Vipers to get those Marines to walk forward to their deaths. That's what I need, boys. I need some Vipers. That I could get some Swarm Hosts and overwhelm the Marines. Don't know which one to do right now. I think I'm going to go for the Vipers. Well, we have it. Well, we have the time. Inflame's is just going for that double line of Dehaka units here. We got the Ravasors and Hydralisks, but they're getting overrun by the Broodlings just coming out here from the spawn Broodlings. There's a bunch of scouts here. There's a lot of scouts here. I'm pretty sure scouts don't do too well into Liberators or Diamondbacks for that matter, but I don't know. We'll see. Boom, boom. I'm gonna drop a fatty mend here. You gotta get yourself a fatty mend going. Boom. The tanks here, because they have someone to spot for them, they'll be able to do just fine. And I think because of the wave stacking up here, we're actually going to do decently well against this. The Queen's still healing up. Okay. Here, I'm going to get a Viper right on top in the middle. Get some extra armor. I'm going to get another Viper probably on this side. So boom, boom, and boom. Yeah, a few Vipers should do the trick here. Get the Virulent Microbes going. I'm gonna micro the Abduct here. But that should put an end to most of Nova's Marine shenanigans. It should, at least, theoretically. Is there an invisible unit here? Oh, there is. I was like, there's something over here. Something being sus here. There we go. Boom. The Marines in their shroud here. Oh, he's got some Hellbats actually. There we go. He's added some Hellbats to his collection. It shouldn't be too bad to deal with some Hellbats. We'll just add some more Ravagers. I don't really have too many Ravagers right now. So I'm gonna slam down those Ravagers. I'm gonna slam another Ravager if I can, and I'll probably slam some gas. Because it is 10 minutes. Would love to slam me a gas for 10 minutes. Boom. A little V-shaped formation here. Hopefully should help that Ravager Blast cascade out. I'm gonna try and get another Ravager here if I can. Oh, did that come out just in time? No, it didn't come out in time. Unfortunate here, boys. There we go. Can you abduct? Can you? I can't abduct a hero. I can't abduct him. I was trying to abduct Mojo. It didn't work, boys. I think my 2 Vipers is not enough. I need more. And Inflames is coming in here with some Locusts. I think it might be time for us to get some Locusts. The double Dehaka is going to be a little tough to deal with. I'm going to be against that soon. I think my initial assessment on having to get Swarm Host might have been the correct one. But, we're a little far deep in now. Oh yeah, I have my Fire Breath on Dehaka. I'm gonna need that. Actually, no, we're against a bunch of Scouts now. Oh, that's not gonna be good. Evolve some ground armor. I don't know. Actually, that might be good. Scouts don't really have a lot of damage output. But they're gonna kill my Vipers, kind of. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I mean, those Hellbat Rangers are not going down easy. I think I might just need more Roaches to deal with them. But the Roaches get caught up on hitting stuff like Dehaka. That's the only problem I got. I'm gonna put one of you down. And I'm gonna slam one of you down over here. Probably over here. Is that even the right position? I don't even know anymore, boys. Boom, boom, boom. Probably need some more Vipers on the other side. I should probably get some Devourers, actually. Just to deal with those units here. I'm going to level up my weapons one more time. Boom. Yeah, the Vipers should be fine. Oh! I need to get some detection here, boys. I need to get some detection here. Overseer. Overseer. Put you down over here. There we go. I mean, the Marines are getting fried here by the double roasty beam, so that's great. Double roasty means that the Marines are just going to go down by default, but so are the Hydralisk. So that's not great. Let's see. I think maybe the one weakness of the Ravager spam is actually Marines and the Hellbats, I think. Might actually be one of the weaknesses. I don't know. We'll have to see here. So far it has not been... Or maybe it's just like the extra additional health of the heroes they have to get through. It does present some difficulties. Okay. Diamondback's grounding most of those units here. Ooh, Mojo actually intercepting those units there. Ah! My Roaches are getting blown up by Disruptors before they can get close to the fight. Okay, so while those units are getting completely, like, slammed by the Microbial Shroud, I think this is kind of the answer. But I can't really deal with the Hellbat Rangers just yet. But I think I just need... I think it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time and a few more Vipers. I'm gonna get some more healing on Dehaka. I think I'm actually do a V of Roaches here, and that might be helpful. Like on one side. Maybe I'll just move these Roaches to just come in on the V. Because having them come in like right on the thing, like right on impact, hasn't been working out for them. Boom, boom, boom. Because that can also field more Roaches that way if they have them come in on the V. Dehaka will be like the tip of the spear in this attack. Yeah, because those Disruptors are really messing me up. But not anymore. We got our little stack here. The Roaches are coming in. Microbial Shroud gonna make sure none of those Marines can attack on top of their Void. And there goes Nova's entire wave, boys. There goes Nova's entire wave. It's done. It's done, boys. We did it. Did enemy Gary just die instantly? Uh-oh. Well, we got some locusts here, though. I don't know how I'm supposed to deal with that. If I get Brutalist, it's gonna get eaten. We're gonna need multiple. Okay, so I'm gonna get another. I'm gonna get you over there. Boom, boom. Fill in my line here. Okay, I'm just gonna fill this up with more Ravagers. So I'm gonna slam down some more Vipers on this side. Maybe one on this side, where Gary is. I think the Vipers themselves are decent anti-air damage. Obviously, they are not the end-all, be-all of anti-air. But yeah, I think I'm gonna slam a gas here. I don't know if I should. I think I'm gonna try and win. Oh, we got some Marauder Commandos coming in. Those guys should give me some trouble. Knock my roaches around a few. But for the most part, I think they're unable to shoot me. Oh man, just to chain Microbial Shroud back to back. Oh, I probably should have mended a little bit later. But yeah, my formation's getting blown to bits by the creepers here. What should I do here? Is it Guardian time? I've never enjoyed Guardians. Guardians just never seem good enough. But like, what else do I do here? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna slam a Viper, that's for sure. Viper, Viper, Viper. There you go. Let's slam a Viper. Maybe I'll just keep slamming Ravagers right now. I don't know. Let's see. Boom, boom. Because Ravagers are still kind of vulnerable to that AoE explosion and stuff. Yeah, I think it's Inflames' units here that are actually being very tough to deal with here. Boom, boom. And oh, because I don't have a lot of range, well, like vision range. I actually can't see these units over here. Well, I can see them, but my units don't know of their existence. It's a little funky. Stacking, I think, is gonna be a little bit easy. You know what? I think it's time. I should have done this like ages ago, but I think, well, there's no better time to start than the present, boys. Actually, I'll probably like slam these down over here. Yeah, I'm gonna need them over there, somewhere where they can survive. Go for another point and bite. Evolve flyer attacks one more time. Boom, 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 boom. Oh Jesus! Where is my Overseer? It died. No, it's back there. It didn't die. It just didn't come forward. Nice meme. Nice meme, boys. Where is my Overseer? Okay, well, at least I think our Dehaka wave is just going to be equally as deadly. Is it? Ooh, no. Actually, our Dehaka is suffering. He's struggling against that Nova wave. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. Hold on, we got to come back from this first. So I got to be more of these. I'll build one more of those. This. Probably slam. I don't need to slam more roaches. I don't gotta fill in the roach line, I don't think. What do I get here? Should I get some more weapons? Actually, I think I'm gonna drop some mends here because I'm at 3 stacks. No point holding 3 stacks of mend. There we go. I need some devourers. I think. I need some devourers. Yeah, against all of those. Are those creepers attacking each other in the air? That's wild. I think this Nova wave is just gonna be a little bit too much, though. The way the waves have collapsed on each other. Oh yeah. I think I needed those devours to control those scouts because they were. I was fighting them and it was bleeding into me. So I probably should have gotten those like yesterday. All right. Overall, not doing too bad. Yeah, I think our Dehaka actually didn't do as well by comparison compared to Inflames. I mean, Inflames has like that open middle formation. I like it. All right, well, let's go on to the tier list. All right, we are back. Let's get right to it. Game plan, we're going to talk about the ores, overall strategy, and the commander rankings. Be sure to drop a like and sub if you are not yet subbed. Let's go. So Brawl modifiers, once again, to recap. We'll pull some stuff off my mic. We have Void. Units have reduced vision range, so basically you're just going to be going up there and sniffing stuff. You start with the free Dehaka, you start with the free Gary. It's pretty straightforward this week. I think this week's Brawl, the strategy is probably overall, it's going to revolve around healing your heroes in the early game and or killing the enemy heroes faster. And I think medium range units, like units with 7 to 9 range, are actually pretty strong this week. Actually, although 8 range is kind of like siege ready, but they're actually pretty strong because unlike like real siege units, they will not struggle with not being able to see your opponents. And also they will have slightly more durability for the most part compared to normal siege units. And they will also be able to, I guess, see the unit or like be able to be in effective firing range faster. So I'm thinking siege tanks actually aren't going to be so great this week. So here's where I think things fall. So I think Tychus is still going to be very good because if you give Tychus 2 free meat shields to start the game, that's a formula for a pretty bad time for whoever's on the other end. Although I've actually rarely seen Tychus this week that like when I've been playing. So well, so far, of course, this being like the first day the brawls come out. But I think Tychus is overall going to be pretty strong. If you know what you're doing, I think you can probably we can probably safely put him in the S tier. Next we have Dehaka. So Dehaka I think belongs here because Dehaka himself is very tough to deal with. Now you add a second one, very, very tough to deal with. And Dehaka, you can go for like the mass driver, small Dehaka build, run it down with Ultralisk and like Hydralisk. Hydralisk in the early game actually take care of Gary pretty nicely. Later in the game, you can go for creepers and locusts, not creepers, like the normal swarm hosts, your primal hosts. And because those units move forward when they spawn, they won't really have to unsiege as a unit. Impalers can do the same, and because Impalers sort of just hide, Dehaka can also like provide vision range with his worms. So that makes his siege units not as bad. Dehaka will have difficulty dealing with say like a Super Gary maybe. Because Super Gary AoE is going to be a little bit too much, but I think if the game drags on long enough, if your opponent can afford a Super Gary, you could probably also afford a few creeper hosts and set them onto aerial burst sacks, and that should be able to handle Super Gary. So I think that's why Dehaka is in the S tier. Just having 2 Dehakas is just makes things very tough to deal with. So yeah, A tier commanders I think are also still very, very good. Han and Horner's opener, I think with just pure Hellbats, is very strong, I think. And obviously, I think this week you'll probably want to have a lot more Deimos Vikings with you. Deimos Vikings will dominate the skies, destroy any Gary. And from there, I guess you just move from there. Well, having a free Dehaka hero makes your ground units a lot tankier because normally Dehaka, Han Horner struggles with having like a front line that stays there for a long time. So with the Dehaka, you can also, I guess, start speccing into galleons, for example, which can also kind of scout for themselves because of the units they spawn, and also because your front line is hopefully still there. Megs, I think, is still A, not S though, because if you're against a Dehaka, you lose your first Royal Guard. So you'll probably want to tank. Now I think Megs tanks might be not too bad this week because they have fast siege. Which counteracts a little bit of their weaknesses, and Megs' wave likes to run forward, and having an extra Dehaka in your wave does help you last a little bit longer. Megs sort of doesn't have a good unit that stays alive for a long time. Even the Ultralisk goes down pretty quickly because it doesn't have that extra armor from the chitinous plating and or healing that Kerrigan's Ultralisk get. So I think Megs is going to have a better time. Just don't buy any medium range Royal Guards until you can afford to buy 2 of them and level them up at the same time, because you'll probably lose the first one, guaranteed. Just start with LMG boys. They're pretty strong. Some Medivacs could be very helpful as well to heal up Dehaka and your Flame boys next to them. So yeah, Nova I think might do very well with Marine Marauder maybe just Marines this week. I remember getting clobbered by some Marines. Although once Dehaka hits rank 6 and he gets his Flame Breath, your Marines are going to stop being so good. So maybe actually consider going for, I would actually probably say like Marauders into Liberators and or Goliaths, depending on what your opponent does. I don't know if your tanks will be that great this week because of the reduced vision range. I'm tempted to say you could probably keep them in main battle tank mode, just like cannon mode, and if opportunity presents itself to siege up, you can. It's a little funky because like the siege units will be a little worse off if you don't have anything to give them vision, so that's why. But Nova's units, like other units, are still very strong, so I don't counter out of the fight yet. Funnily enough, Swan I think is actually A this week, because Swan lacks a real big boy in the front line. Like his biggest boy is like Ares bots, and Ares bots are armored, so they're not really big boys. They're just a lot more vulnerable. They have a big HP pool, but a lot more vulnerable. With this Dehaka that you get for free, you can probably just roll out Goliaths and go for some tanks and go from there, actually. If your Dehaka's dying too fast, then maybe you can add some Hellbats and or Science Vessels to help him out. But honestly, I think Swan will do pretty well this week because Dehaka's really hard to get through, and his tanks do quite a lot of damage. Maybe not enough damage to get through Dehaka quickly, so you can probably opt for Cyclones instead if you don't want to go for the tank option, but I think it's not too bad. So in the B tier, we have commanders who are okay. They're not like as good as the A or S tier commanders. So I think Alarak is on the edge, mostly because Alarak can charge forward and give himself a lot of vision, which means his Wrathwalkers could still be very relevant. So be on the lookout for that. I mean, normally Wrathwalkers are already very dangerous, but because of the reduced sight and vision range, they might not be as potent. So they might like have to like walk forward and like sniff your opponent's units a little bit, which is what you don't want them to do. But there is the possibility that maybe you could open Slayers and have Alarak, and then have a slower transition to Wrathwalkers, because Wrathwalkers will smash through any hero units really quickly. Still, Karax, I think if you go pure ground this week, you'll have a good time. Not like the best time, but it's like doable. Sentinels and Annihilators should cut through Dehaka pretty nicely. The only problem is when your opponent starts shaking things up and they start flying and stuff, then you might have a hard time, because Gary is really good against your Mirages, just like the E-Gorb is just going to trigger all their shields and then like give a big dot on them. So might be a big weakness there. Abathur, B tier as well. Queens are great, I think, to open this week. They do get eaten and like they do release a Sonic Explosion, but it's like not too bad. I think Ravagers actually struggled a little bit there, if you guys saw there. Theoretically, Ravagers should be good, but I think it's just because unless you micro them, the Bow Blast are a little bit out of timing. So it might be better if you just go something like Swarm Host and or Air Abathur. You guys have to try that one out. Because I think Abathur's like actual DPS output relies on the Ravagers, and Dehaka's a little bit too thick for the Ravagers to get through quickly. Like normally that many Ravagers I had would have smashed that wave pretty effectively, but they didn't. Next in the B tier we have Stukov. So with Stukov this week, a friendly reminder, please don't build bunkers, because if Dehaka eats your bunker, it's going to reflect back every attack that your units do against it, and if you have a bunch of Marines, that is just not a good time for you. You will want to build probably Diamondbacks and Civies, and you would probably want to get actually your siege tanks, because your tanks actually, they also provide range with themselves. It's just that they're really pricey, but so they will probably be a really good choice. And Alexander is not too bad as well, because Alexander grabs enemies and brings them closer, which means, well, you don't have to worry about the range decrease either. So yeah, overall I think Stukov will do decently. Next in the B tier we have Phoenix. Now I think actually Phoenix might be pretty spicy if you get the Arbiter Phoenix going. But also tier 1, you can get Talus out, I think almost right away. Talus will help you punch harder and faster through the hero units with the debilitation glaive that she has that like makes units more vulnerable. And then afterwards, I think the transition might be Colossus actually this week. depending on what your opponent does as well, because Warbringer can snipe down big boys real quick. I mean, Colossus also grants you a lot of AoE. If not Colossus, I'm not really quite seeing what else you could do. Might be like Scout Colossus. That might be it. Also, your Energizers, not your Energizers, your Conservators will be very helpful in protecting your heroes from taking bonus damage. Although it might be a bit pricey. Legionaries might also be a really good choice, because Legionaries will do a lot of damage to Dehaka, and so will Kaldalis. So I think Phoenix has a few options open for him. I just don't see Immortals being very good this week, just because they don't really cut through Dehaka too fast. Warbringer can do a lot of damage. Legionaries can do a lot of damage. So maybe play around something like that. Next we have Raynor in the B. I don't think Raynor actually can be any higher this week, because his vision range is reduced, so you'll have to use your scans to give your Vikings vision range if you want to establish air dominance. So your Vikings extra range is kind of nullified, which makes them really vulnerable, because without the extra range, like, they're actually just like one of the most expensive flying units you can buy with the least amount of health. That being said, Raynor's opener could be very good. You can open with medics and maybe like, I probably wouldn't go Marauders, actually. I probably would go Firebats, because Firebats are tankier and they do AoE damage. And they attack at around the same speed, and they do around the same damage to Dehaka. With the bonus is that they can deal with crowds. So I would probably go Firebats this week. They're also a little cheaper too. So maybe like Medic Firebat into like, I don't know, lots of siege tanks. I don't know about Banshees. Banshees have not done well for me. Like in the past, like sometimes I'm like, yeah, go Banshees. And then it's like every time I go Banshees, they're like, they always kind of underperform, so I think tanks might be better this week. Now in the C tier, we have commanders that will do some young struggling this week. So Vorazun, I think you could do something with like just going pure invisible, and like an Oracle invisible Void Ray build. Now, if you know what you're doing with Stasis Ward, I think you could do very well. Unfortunately, I am not good with the Stasis Ward, as in I have not tried it out enough times to figure out what should be the right way to use it. So I think I'm just going to play some games like off camera and just like mash Vorazun and build oracles until I figure it out. But for now this week, you guys are going to see a game which I think would have been better if I had used Stasis Ward properly. A little bit of a spoiler there, but yeah. So Void Rays unfortunately don't do a lot against the Dehaka, and Void Rays are going to be like the end game unit you're going to want a lot of. So that's going to be a bit troublesome. You'll take care of Gary, no problem. But yeah, but Gary's also going to like really mess up your Corsairs. So your air units are just going to be a little bit harder to get off. So I feel like Warzone might actually even be in the D tier, if not for her Black Hole ability, which is pretty strong if you use it at the right time. So yeah, I don't know, a bit of a struggle. Stetman, even though he has a second Gary available to him, I think is going to struggle as well, because Stetman does not have a great time dealing with Dehaka. Dehaka is pretty thick. Your opponents are going to have him, and so you can't go for Banelings anymore. So I think you're going to have to go right for Lurkers with like maybe Zergling frontline. It's going to be really awkward for Stetman this week, so I don't think he's going to be that strong, even though there is a second Gary. It's just Dehaka takes too many hits. If there was no Dehaka and it was just an extra Gary, I think Stetman would definitely be up there in like the A tier, at least A tier. So yeah. Zagara, I think, will be C, because not Gary. Well, Gary is pretty good against Zagara's air units, so there's that. Dehaka is pretty resistant against most of what Zagara throws at her too. So like Zagara's gonna need extra firepower on top of her like tier 2, tier 3, right? I think roaches, you'll probably just need to get lots of them. And like your lings will be helpful with like removing Dehaka's armor, so at least there's that. But Zagara's gonna need a little bit more help to get rolling. But then again, you know, once Zagara gets rolling, she becomes like S tier basically, because against most commanders. But yeah. And finally in the D tier, we have Artanis, which, save from Tempest Enjoyment, I can't really see how Artanis is going to smash his way through 2 hero units and whatever else. Immortals, not too great, but it might be your only choice. I don't think Dragoons would cut it, because Dragoons don't have too much health, and so they'll lose to Gary, and they will lose to Dehaka once he has his Flame Breath, and they don't do a lot of damage to either of them. I guess they can take out Gary, but Dragoons suffer from the Goliath problem, but worse, because they have less attack speed. So yeah, I don't know. I think Artanis is going to be pretty tough to do well this week. You might have to buy lots of Reavers. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird playing Artanis this week. Next we have Kerrigan. Kerrigan's air units are literally just Mutalisk. Gary is very good against those, so you're gonna have a bad time if you try to fight air units. So that automatically makes you like super vulnerable to anyone who decides to go air. On the ground, you'll do okay. You have a lot of damage on the ground, so if your opponents decide to fight you on the ground, you should be fine. But like that one fatal weakness to AoE air units, I think seals the deal for Kerrigan to be in the D tier this week. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the tier list in the comment section down below. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I got something right on. Maybe I completely missed some interaction. Please let me know. I'd love to hear your comments. And until next time, I will see you guys later.
The tires! Let's light some fires!
Need a light. They picked the wrong fight.